New Samsung tablets, a ZTE Projector Hotspot, and a social media-driven Polaroid camera are set to hit the market this year. Let's get this technology update from Pia Bonalos.
Most gadgets out today are all about doing at least two things at once. And that is what Samsung highlights in its new Pro tablets, the Galaxy Note Pro and the Galaxy Tab Pro. The new devices, which Samsung recently debuted at the 2014 Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas, Nevada, are all about multitasking, sporting Samsung's newest user interface, the Magazine UX, which lets users create their own magazine-inspired home screen using tiles instead of widgets to let them check important news feeds and see a number of other data all on one screen. Despite the UI's striking similarities to the Windows 8 Start screen, the Tab Pro and Note Pro will run Android KitKat out of the box. It will also come with Samsung's enhanced multi-window feature, which lets users view and use 4 different apps through multiple windows. In terms of hardware, the Tab Pro and Note Pro will have 12.2-inch 2560 by 1600 TFT LCD screens, 2.3 GHz, quad-core processors, 3 gigabytes of RAM, and either 32 or 64 gigabytes of onboard storage, which can go by up to 64 gigabytes through a micro SD card. The Tab Pro, however, will have smaller 8.4-inch and 10.1-inch versions, which will run the same processor, but will have 2 gigabytes of RAM and either 16 or 32 gigabytes of onboard storage instead. Samsung is expected to roll out these new devices sometime during the first quarter of the year, though the company has yet to say how much these gadgets will be worth. Speaking of multitasking, ZTE's newest piece of hardware lets users have a portable hotspot that projects not just an internet connection, but also images and movies all in one tiny device. ZTE's aptly named Projector Hotspot basically works as both a portable Android-powered Wi-Fi router that provides connections to up to 8 clients and an image projector that can project a movie, a presentation, or a picture onto a screen that is up to 120 inches in size. ZTE is set to launch the device later this year. And Polaroid's latest camera brings together the instant photo printing feature the company is known for and the power of social media. The Polaroid Socialmatic, which comes with a 14-megapixel front camera and a 2-megapixel rear camera, not only prints 2x3-inch photographs instantly on ink-free paper, but also runs Android-based apps that lets users share their pictures on Twitter, Facebook, and other social networking sites right away. The Polaroid Socialmatic camera is set to make its debut in the fall and will be worth $299 or at least 13,000 pesos. Pia Bonalos, Solar News.
2013 has been a year of technology advancements. Gadgets like smartphones became a trend. This 2014, we're looking at new technology with better features. With us in the studio is tech blogger J.M. Balicano to talk more about the gadgets to watch out for this year. Good morning, J.M., and welcome to Daybreak.
Good morning, Ms. Amal and Ms. Mitz.
Good morning.
And you know, phablets seemed to be a trend last year. Do you see that coming in this year?
First, explain what phablets are.
Oh, yeah, phablets. Right. Yeah, the phone tablets.
Right. Well, phablets are basically, a simple explanation is they're phones with screens that are 5 inches or larger, and anywhere from 5 to 7 inches.
So something like this one.
Yeah, that's the Galaxy Note 2 that
Yes.
classifies as a phablet. And the trend, large screens will continue to be a trend in 2014. There'll still be some companies that will try to introduce, trying to introduce tablets with phone capabilities like 7-inch that you can make phone calls. Personally, I think that's forcing it. So I think that, the phablet category will be stabilized at 5 inches between 5 inches to 7 inches. So tablets will continue to be a trend in 2014.
Yeah, and in terms of when you put, like you were saying, it's forcing it. I wanted to know, when you have all of these functions in one gadget, do you think it decreases the, let's say, the quality or of a certain part? Let's say phone with a camera, with speakers and all of this. Which would you say, which is really the best gadget to go for? Just the camera on its own, phone camera?
Well, personally, I like that the manufacturers are including all of these features. Not necessarily, I mean, you know, we're not necessarily all going to use them, but, you know, some people will use certain features, some people will use the others. So at least there's something for everyone, and you have that choice. For example, some smartphones have this Smart Stay feature that, you know, it keeps track of your eyes, and if you look away, the screen turns off. And then you can actually scroll with your eyes with some phones too.
Really?
So
I didn't know there's such a thing.
yeah.
Seems eerie, no?
Yeah,
The future is really here.
these manufacturers are including all of these features, and it's nice that they're including them. But you know, it's, you know, we don't necessarily have to use
Will
them.
we
and that's
actually
great.
use them also? Is it accessible to Philippine, all of us in the world? Not really.
Not really, no? They get pretty expensive. But I heard about the bendable ones. Is that good? You see that as a trend, like phones that are bendable?
Like the wearable, now they'll have the watch.
There's bendable, there's wearable.
Yes. Well,
What is this trend? Oh, what is this trend?
there's an advantage to having these bendable screens, even if they're not curved on the phone. But if they can accept, you know, if they can take some, you know, take some blunt force trauma or whatever, that makes them more durable. So if you sit on them,
Okay,
you know,
they'll just bend with you.
yeah, they'll just bend with you. And the LG G Flex, actually, you know, the entire phone bends, not just
Very
the screen.
organic, interesting. Yeah. I wanted to ask also, Amelie, of course, we've been hearing a lot about Google Glass.
Yeah,
have you
there's
tried it
Google Glass.
yourself? I'm wondering,
No.
what do you think? Is this really going to make it big?
Well, I think Google Glass is sort of like an experimental product that they're just starting to introduce this year. It might become big in maybe next year, maybe 2020, but right now I don't see it as being that big. It's too expensive, it's too inaccessible, it's too hard to develop for. There's hardware limitations, like right now it's kind of slow, and then how can you control?
Yeah, it's supposed. What does it do? Like here, you can scroll in this.
Like a computer
Like
on
a
your-
computer,
yeah,
right? You can
basically.
scroll here, and then you can ask for directions.
Yeah, right now.
What is it? What do they want to see it as a useful tool? Tool for what?
Well, you know, right now I know that it can take pictures whenever you wink. So if you do this, you know, it'll
Motion
take a picture,
controlled also, imagine.
hands-free. And then, you know, cyclists, extreme sports people, they'll love that to record, you know,
That's
while
right.
they're actually playing the sport. Like,
That's right.
yeah.
Or it's like sci-fi movies where data will, if they have your face, I have Ameline's face, all her data will come out.
Yeah,
And
that's
suddenly I know where she lives, what she
Her
does.
Facebook
It's like a
account,
spy,
her Twitter
spy tool.
yeah, it's pretty cool to be able to access, you know, Facebook or
Right,
send a
through
tweet
the
from
glass,
your
yeah.
from the
Yeah, yeah.
glass. But you know, it's too difficult to control, too difficult to develop for, and access to it is very limited at the moment.
Yeah.
So for now, it's just a dream for, you know, it's like baby steps. Maybe next year there'll be something that's more accessible. But for now, you know, only a few will be able to afford it and use it.
Yeah.
What about the wearable? What's that? A
Like the
phone
phone
and a
watch.
tablet at the same time, and it's in the form of a watch.
Yeah.
Did we hear that right?
Yeah, wearables are going to become a big thing this year. Actually, previous years we've already seen some good ones. Apple introduced, like, I think the 6th generation or 5th generation iPad Nano. It was this small, and you could get an accessory for it, you know, a wristband accessory, and you could wear it on your wrist. This last year was we saw the Samsung Galaxy Gear, I believe. So that could pair with your smartphone. Well, right now I think it's just with the Note 3 and the Galaxy S4, and you can actually control your phone from your watch. You don't have to take that big phablet out of your pocket. You can just control it from your watch. There's also been some good examples last year. There's the Cuckoo smartwatch, not as smart as the previous two, but you know, it will show you notifications that, you know, you've got a tweet, you've got a message, and then when you see it, you don't have to, you know, it actually tells time, so
Yeah.
you don't
Yeah.
have to bring out your phone to
check if somebody
check
sent
the
you a
time,
message.
because many of us have started checking the time from the phone. So
yes, that's
you know,
right.
the smartwatch simplifies things.
And they're also looking into like a fitness monitor or checking your, for example,
heart
if your
rate
heart rate, your blood sugar levels, that you can send it to your doctor at the same time.
Right.
They're making it
Too much. Yeah, everything. You can do
Yeah,
everything
yeah.
at once.
So while your doctor is skiing, beep, beep, oh, Amelin's
Doc.
heart rate is going up now. I'm just kidding.
What do you think of those? Yeah, are these really handy? I mean, do we really need them even? Or
For those who can afford them, yes. You know, the technology right now isn't that accessible, but there are smartwatches that already do that. They
Yeah.
record information, your heart
Right.
rate, the pace, how fast you walk, your location. It's a little bit creepy
I know what you
because
mean.
they can
they
capture
track
a
you
lot of information.
everywhere. Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
But you
on
know,
social media
as
alone.
long as you're smart about it, you know, you can limit how much information.
We have to be very careful
Right, you
with
have
how
to be
we
very
use our
careful.
technology, right? With our phones alone.
Right.
But what do you have with you now?
Right. This is the Braven 855S.
It's an
It's a
excellent
Bluetooth speaker. It's a weatherproof speaker. It's pretty large and heavy. So this thing, we're using it in our living room right now. We live in a small townhouse. The living room area downstairs is about 40 square meters. Turn this up full blast, and it's like having a home theater in your room.
Wow.
Oh, so like sound
Imagine
surround?
that, yeah,
Is that
surround
how
sound.
it comes out?
Well,
It's enough for the whole
it's
house.
almost like surround sound, but you know, it's just in one location, so it won't
Yeah.
It won't
replicate
have
the
that
experience,
experience.
perfectly.
Uh-huh.
Bring
But
the
you know, if you had one speaker for and you lived in small spaces, this would be it.
So that's a trending item for next year. We'll be seeing different designs.
I've
and
seen the
different-
smaller one. I have. So now this is the latest model.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of Bluetooth speakers coming
Yeah.
out, and we've already seen them of all sizes. This is a rather expensive one.
How much does it go for? Range. Let's say. Give us a range.
This one is a little less than
Yeah.
14,000.
Do you think we can
pesos.
try it? Was it hard to link up with? Do you have any music on your phone? It takes a while to link. You need to find the Bluetooth.
need to find-
It's actually pretty quick.
That's
Oh,
pretty
yeah?
quick. So
Yeah.
what can we do, for example?
As in,
can-
I can
Yeah.
just turn on my
Yeah, yeah,
Bluetooth
yeah.
right now.
Okay, okay.
You have
That's
another
like-
phone. Is that also?
Yeah,
that's-
it's another one
that you-
that I'm going to
you
show you
pick up,
guys.
yeah.
Okay.
This is the Cherry Mobile Flare HD.
Yeah.
It's not in the market yet, but they've already announced the pricing for it on their Facebook page, and I can
Very
link up
slim. Nice and.
from this phone Bluetooth. I think it's already paired, but if not,
Okay.
you know.
All you have to do is pair. It's very simple to
Yeah,
use, right?
one-time pair, and then every
Yeah.
time that you turn this one on and this one on, they detect
There you
each
go.
other.
You hear the
Right,
Yeah, I can
they're already
hear it.
paired.
It is, yeah.
And I
Oh,
can
so
play
we can-
music right
it's-
now.
And the battery lasts quite long, does it? You
Yeah.
just have to charge it. It'll last about
The
a.
battery life is rated at 20 hours.
20 hours.
And you know, not continue. Well, I've been using it not continuously, but around every afternoon, and I haven't had to charge this thing for 4 days.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Right, and it's got an 8,800 milliamp hour battery built in, so you can actually charge your
Excellent.
phone.
Excellent.
the
Wonderful. Yeah.
USB
you
port
got
right here.
Other tools
Wow.
there. Yeah.
Right.
And it's waterproof also.
Yes,
Right?
it's
So
the,
while
a
you're
little bit.
having a party and a
Go to
beer
the
spills
pool.
to it, no, you-
It's safe. Yeah.
Bring it
Si
to the
Amelin,
pool
no? Si
just to
Amelin
check.
magpa-party. Yeah,
so
there
anyway,
you
are
go.
we trying to like?
well, it's not.
It's
Not working
working
now.
now.
But it's
Okay.
amazing. All of these. Now, Bluetooth is definitely being. Is that now an aspect that's really finding its way through all the gadgets?
Well, yeah, it's not like Bluetooth is a new thing. It's been around for a
Exactly.
while. But, you know, there's a lot of Bluetooth accessories coming out right now
Yeah.
that will allow you to, you know, wirelessly link up to your phone. Like, for example, this allows you to stream music wirelessly without any cables, very
Yeah.
convenient.
Yeah.
So there's other Bluetooth accessories like keyboards, mice that you can actually use with some phones and
Yeah.
control your phone wirelessly through that.
Right.
Wow.
So maybe just a quick last one. Can you give us your top 3 favorites? Something for the year. Maybe top 3 favorite gadgets
that
you're
we can
looking
look
to.
at.
Top 3 favorite gadgets would probably be, that we can expect is the iWatch, Apple iWatch. We're expecting them to come out with their own wearable this year. They've made some hires. people from the fashion industry. So if you're going to hire people from the fashion industry, obviously you're going to go into wearables.
Yeah.
So the next that I would anticipate is the Samsung Galaxy S5, because if Apple has the iPhone, Android has to have their own
Yes.
king of the heap. Right now it's the S4, but they're losing ground a bit against some of the other manufacturers because they're coming out with some really good phones, LG G2, HTC One, but right now the
So
Galaxy
it's the
S4,
S5. It's something to look forward to.
definitely something to look forward to because it's the next iteration of the king of what's.
Is it bendable? No, not yet.
We're not. It could be either way.
Okay.
It.
And then your last pick, the third one.
Actually, those two are the only
Too
ones.
many.
All right.
Just when we
And
said we had
then-
to save money, now we're gonna have
We're
to
gonna
spend it on these new things.
So I guess you're a one-liner hope for 2014 in terms of technology and gadgets in the Philippines.
Well, I'm very budget oriented, so I'd like to see these features come in more affordable options. Like for example, this phone. It's only 5,499 pesos, and it performs just as well as some of the more expensive phones that can range in 10,000 to 15,000 pesos. So I'd like to see these new features that are being announced early on in the year and maybe see
Be
them
more
on more affordable
affordable.
brands, like in the later half.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much, JM,
Thank
for
you.
joining us this morning. So
Thank you.
we've been talking to tech blogger JM Balicano.